Do you know how many videos are viewed on YouTube each day? It's a mind-blowing 5 billion. That's right, 5 billion videos are watched every single day on what is unsurprisingly one of the world's biggest online platforms, what is YouTube. YouTube stats never fail to amaze me. For example, by the time you've watched this video, nearly 3,000 hours of new video content will be uploaded to the platform. And by the end of the day, more than 30 million people will have visited the search engine and video sharing site that is YouTube. Now, there's lots of opportunity for creators on YouTube, but of course, there's a lot of competition too. One creator who knows how to make a YouTube video that people want to watch is Tim Schmoyer. Tim is an entrepreneur and video strategist who's worked with some incredibly big brands including Disney, Warner Brothers, eBay, Budweiser and HBO. His company, Video Creators, helps businesses grow their YouTube channels by designing strategies that take them from 0 views to 50 million views in less than a year. In this It Started With Content episode, I'm sharing how Tim became one of the leading YouTube strategists and how content helped him get there. Tim's content story is one filled with romance, confusion, hard work and good old trial and error. So let me first take you back to where it all began and then I'll reveal what we can learn from Tim's journey. So let's go back to 2005. Tim moved across the US for graduate school. He wanted to share updates about his life with his friends and family back home, so he did what many people do and he started a personal blog. But when he wanted to introduce his family to his new girlfriend, a blog post just didn't seem like the right way to do it. But they lived hundreds of miles away and FaceTime, well, that hadn't even been invented yet. So Tim heard about this new platform called YouTube and decided that sharing a video would be a much better way to introduce his girlfriend to everybody back home. So he uploaded a video and emailed a link to his family and friends. He was already an avid content creator, so Tim didn't stop there. In a recent interview with TechSmith, Tim said that he then continued making videos in this way for his friends and family.
So we started making what today would be known as vlogs. Back then, that wasn't a word. We were just being awkward in public with the camera. We would just go out and make videos of each other, hanging out at the park, going out to movies, going out to eat.
At this point, YouTube itself was still in infancy. It was only a year old when Tim started uploading his pre-vlog vlogs to his channel and sharing them with those who meant the most to him, so his friends, his family, but also strangers too. So this is when Tim spotted something interesting. It wasn't just his friends and his family watching the videos, but all these other people started watching his videos and commenting on them too. Remember, this was back in a time when influencers and YouTubers weren't a thing, but then he saw it as an opportunity to work out what potential this platform had. In an interview with Eric Sue on the Leveling Up podcast, Tim said that he dug deep into YouTube to work out why people were watching and what was it about his videos that struck a chord. And as it turned out, other people were watching Tim trying to work out the same thing. So Tim then created YouTube content for 7 years, experimenting and analysing until his channel was getting 1 million views a month. And what's really interesting about Tim's story is that most people would stop here. Once a YouTube channel becomes that popular, it can make so much money that creators don't really need to branch out into new revenue streams. They can use YouTube as their main source of business and income. However, Tim was still riding on a wave that started in the early days of YouTube, and he spotted scope to do more. So he decided to put those years of knowledge to good use and found the first ever YouTube education channel. In 2013, Video Creators was started and was instantly more than just a YouTube education channel. It fast became the go-to authority on YouTube strategy and a really respected business. Now, the channel had a dual function. First, to share knowledge with other people who were using YouTube, and secondly, to show brands that Tim knew what he was talking about, to establish his authority. And this is the key takeaway from Tim's content journey. His years of diligent experimentation and analysis of what makes great video content meant that he had insights that nobody else did. He got in on the ground floor of what would become one of the biggest websites ever, but he did the legwork that few were willing to do. And then he did something crucial. He created content to show what he'd learned. He wasn't just creating content as an experiment, he was also creating content which positioned him as a thought leader. He recorded videos of himself sharing tips, how-to videos, thoughts on good video strategies, and so much more. And by sharing his knowledge, people could see that Tim wasn't just a vlogger or throwing stuff at the wall to see what stuck. He was constantly learning and keeping himself at the forefront of the YouTube discussion. And this is what caught the eye of so many brands and why companies like Disney flocked to work with him. It's also why the Video Creators Company has been featured by Fox, Forbes, BBC, and even by YouTube themselves. Today, Video Creators is a 7-figure business. Its YouTube channel has over 500,000 subscribers and millions of views across their years of video content. And Tim is still a leader in the video strategy space, and he also married the girl he created the very first vlog about. Now, like many of the stories featured in the It Started With Content case study series, Tim's content journey is definitely not a short story. It spans many years and shows how a long-term commitment to content can pay off, but it also shows how important it is to position yourself as a thought leader in your chosen niche. And Tim had the added benefit of playing a really key role in creating the niche as well. And he worked so hard to be seen and heard by creating content that showed what he was an expert in. That way, when businesses needed help with growing their YouTube audiences and creating a video strategy, it was a no-brainer for who to approach. I think Tim's story is a brilliant example of someone who really just stumbled upon creating content, but then used it to carve a path to success. Now, thanks to Tim's natural curiosity and an entrepreneurial mindset, his content has helped him become one of the most influential YouTube educators there is and a master of video content. So this truly is a business success story that started with content. Now, I'm going to leave you with one more YouTube fact. If this story has inspired you to get started with video content, but you're worried that you've missed the boat, then don't be, because YouTube is showing no signs of slowing down with the number of hours people spend watching videos. It's up 60% year on year. So if you want to get started with video content just like Tim did, there's no better time than today.